Who am I? My name is Kat. I go by Retro Barbie. And what do I do? What don't I do? Maybe that's an easier question. I am a creative manager, a brand architect, an advocate for mental health and Black women, as well as the Black community. I'm a hood healer without the theatrics, a big therapist to Black men, the founder of Black Men Cry Too, a self proclaimed dot connector, and just a regular Queens girl. The reason why I created Black Men Cry Too is because of three personal situations and people that have entered my life. I guess I'd never realized that this is kind of my calling, and everything that I went through was for this moment. The first experience I ever had was losing a best friend to suicide in high school. I was a freshman, he was a sophomore, and that was the first time I got a taste of what like mental health in our community does and doesn't look like. Um, that experience has shaped me to who I am today and how seriously I take friends and mental health. People that know me know that for a really long time, I used to keep my phone on loud because I never wanted to miss anybody else's phone call in need. The second situation I was in a mutually abusive relationship, and that was also due to the fact of our mental health. We were both depressed and abusing vices as well as each other together. Again, no one talks about depression in our community, in our culture, so we didn't even know that's what we both were at that time. And then the last situation that finally pushed me over the edge was dealing with a hood nigga, a stoic guy, and he was feared in his hood, but I could count the amount of times he's cried to me or broken down and has been very vulnerable and created me as his safe space, as many Black women are to many Black men, even if they don't admit it. And due to that, I was recognizing that there was a lot of Black men in my circle that were open and expressive to experiences I didn't even know were occurring in their life or had occurred in their life, and how it kind of shaped them and is the reason why that they carry themselves the way they do in the world. And I was sitting there like, if they feel so comfortable giving me this raw insight to who they are, why can't the world like see them the way they're allowing me to see them? Why do we continue to let like white media tell their stories? I wanted to create a platform where people can see these men that we love and what they've had to carry throughout the year due to society, due to trauma, due to generations. So I really wanted to create this platform and a visual platform so people can connect and actually get into the minds and the hearts of these Black men. Becoming Retro Barbie has been a wild, fun ride. People know me as, have known me, I'm grown now, as a wild child, especially back in college. I mean, hello, who wasn't wild in college? But in becoming Retro Barbie, I was always more so a tomboy, but I love Barbie dolls, and I love Barbie dolls because it allowed me to express my imagination. I could make them do whatever, be whatever, dress whatever, style them whatever. That was why I was so drawn to Barbies, because it was literally an unlimited like possibility of creativity with them. I even did stupid shit like make a tornado come and like wreck their house, just like dumb crap. But in going to college and finally leaving New York and going to a different city, Philadelphia, which is very eccentric, I was able to step into what I felt like I wanted to look like and be like and become. And even though what I thought back then isn't current today or what I thought I would do and be, it allowed me to finally try different outlets, connect with different people, and start stepping into myself and understanding who I am. And in the process of becoming Retro Barbie, clearly, I love my bright hair. So I created the hashtag bright hair dark liquor to show that like women are multifaceted and we don't have to be these dolled up girls. We can also have an old fashioned at the bar. We can change our hair. We can have tattoos. We can have piercings. And we should and can be respected as professionals, as businesswomen, as creatives. It doesn't matter what we look like on the outside. What matters is what the capabilities we have on in the inside. So for me, it was more so changing how society views us as women, views us as Black women specifically, and give me the opportunity to actually learn how to navigate through this world being 100% myself. However, when you do navigate the world or attempt to navigate the world being 100% yourself, you can attract narcissists, you can attract manipulative behaviors, manipulative people who are energy suckers. And in that, I've had to learn a lot of lessons about what do boundaries look like, because that's something that we aren't taught. It's something that we don't know. I've had to learn how to separate from people, walk away from situations, and I've had to learn how to find and own my voice. And in finding and owning my voice, it's taking a stand for defending what I believe in. And I'm a very passionate person. I'm not an angry Black woman, I'm a passionate Black woman. And in doing that, I've had to defend others and defend myself. During the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, I was in all the protests, collecting money, giving out resources. I was jumping in front of police brutality in New Orleans. I've had to recently expose a situation that happened to me in working in a festival in 2021, where I'm still being fake reprimanded and not getting my coins or my respect, and my intellectual property, my physical being was violated by someone who I thought was a friend. And then in that process, you also have to recognize those in your circle. And it's a hard pill to swallow when people present themselves as one way and then you realize you're really not that strong or as sturdy as you think you are. You're allowing for people to maneuver in a negative way. And when you choose silence, like to me, silence is violence. So you already chose a side if you don't speak up. And I'm very, very big on holding people accountable. And this journey has taught me how can I hold myself accountable. I don't want to live like a hypocrite. So I'm not a perfect person, but I always own my shit and I stand by my shit and I reflect my shit. It's amazing and a blessing that therapy has taught me how to be self-aware. And in being so self-aware, I've been able to tap into like my divine feminine energy and power and just be able to read energies and make sure that I'm consistently trying to be a better person than what I was yesterday. And instead of letting situations eat me up inside and beat myself up and just toss in the towel, it's what can I learn from this? And how can I put it out there so someone else can learn from this? So someone else doesn't have to go through what I went through. And so I can create a community around people that just need to be seen and just need to be heard. I think the biggest opposing force that I encountered in establishing boundaries is realizing or accepting people who you thought were in your corner and who thought loved you and were there for you are really just there for themselves with the self-serving agenda. And that's something very, very hard to swallow. It was the most challenging for me to swallow because in 2021, 5 days after my birthday, I unexpectedly lost my mother. And in the process of grieving this unexpected, tragic loss in my life, I dropped 5 people within the first 3 months of me grieving my mother due to the selfish aspects that they just couldn't break out of. Not giving grace when people are going through the worst times of their lives really was eye-opening and hurtful. Like, no one can, as Black women, we always have to show up and be strong. How many times can we be beaten down when we're already low? That probably had to be the biggest obstacle that I'm still healing from, but was a blessing in disguise to be like, there are certain people in my space that I allowed in my space for far too fucking long. My presence is a fucking present and you will treat me as such. And if you don't, I'm gonna match your motherfucking energy, and don't be mad at me because your energy, the energy I'm giving you is the energy you gave me and you don't like it. I ain't fucking like it either, so you keep that forever. I'm out. In cutting people off, I've learned to appreciate and reflect on the members of my tribe. And if it wasn't for the beautiful creatures that I still have in my corner, I don't think I would even have an idea on how the world views me. And I would only have the negative thoughts of myself and how I see myself. So having people in my corner speak light and love into me has made me start changing my own perception of myself. It's still very uncomfortable. Some of my best friends will say I have imposter syndrome and I can't take a compliment. And it's interestingly ironic that due to the fact that I can walk outside with 3 feet of colorful hair, people assume automatically that I must be this confident person, and I'm really not. And me doing this is just a matter of self-expression to make me feel more confident and to make me feel more comfortable in my own skin. However, being teased, being bullied, everyone's story is kind of similar, and then trying to find like who you are is still very shaky because you're being your raw self in the world, and anyone can depict it at any point and any time. So in doing that, I've reflected on my growth, and I think my growth is the most important thing that I'm proud of. I reflect on how I handle situations, how I talk to people, how I allow people to talk to me, and it's definitely been an incredible difference. And I'm very blessed and honored that there's people in my life that have stayed with me in this whole growth process and have seen the growth and will also call out the growth and constantly remind me of what I've done, what I'm doing, and where they see me going, as well as look to me to put me in rooms, spaces, opportunities, conversations where I have the ability to continue moving forward. I'm still clearly a work in progress, but all I keep thinking about since we lost Nipsey, since we lost Kobe, and then losing my mother is legacy is so important, and we all have an opportunity to be a change agent. So what change can I do within myself can help inspire others the way that I've been moved by so many people, and my mother being my superwoman since I entered the world. I really wanted to ensure that, being that we lost her early and I lost her early in my life, that I'm living my life to constantly make her proud, even if she can't physically be here in the sense. I've shared every accomplishment with my mother. So not being able to call her and celebrate and accomplish with her now is the biggest struggle in grieving and healing. However, it's my biggest motivation. I've never grinded so hard before or took a leap on faith and betted on myself until losing her, because it made me reflect on how she saw me and how she wanted me to live and what she wanted me to accomplish, and every sacrifice she made for me and my sister to be here and to be able to live the life that we've been living and have the life that we've had. So I'm trying to recognize and sit and celebrate and appreciate the things that I'm able to do. I would like to believe I'm very humble. I don't take anything for granted, and I'm very appreciative of everything and anything and anyone that has helped me and is continuing to help me in this journey. I want people to leave being energized anytime they have an interaction with me. I want people to have a thought provoked. I like to think I have a provocative personality. I love asking questions to get to understand the core of the person. And if I feel like you're showing up not being yourself, I'm automatically turned off by you, because I don't know what persona you're trying to portray. I want to understand who you are, why you're doing what you do, why you feel you should do what you do, and what makes you tick. I want to get to the authentic person of who you are. And I feel like we've lost the art of being authentic, and everyone wants to be a carbon copy in this little cut and paste, I don't know what you want to call them, robo whatevers. And it's unfortunate that people feel like they can't be themselves no matter what themselves are. Like, I'm very awkward, I'm very klutzy, I'm very outrageous. Like, I will say anything that comes to mind, provocative or not. I'm very silly. So I want people to feel that jovial feeling and just be themselves and feel comfortable. I want people to feel safe, and I want people to feel comfortable whenever they interact with me. I want them to walk away and be like, damn, I never thought about that, or damn, I didn't have this insight, or damn, I didn't even think I could do that. Like, I want people to be inspired to be their best selves when they leave me, no matter what that is, or have the courage to stand up for something, or just bet on themselves and be themselves. That's what I really want from people whenever they interact with me, which is also part of the reason why Black Men Cry Too was created, because I want Black men to be able to take that heavy emotional weight off of themselves and be able to just feel and heal and be able to be a video gamer, be a nerd, and be comfortable being whatever it is that makes them them. I don't know if I'll ever be quote unquote satisfied with where I am, because I feel like, well, I'm an earth sign, I'm a Capricorn, what a go to the best sign ever. I don't care what nobody says, it is what it is. Thank you. Come on, Capricorn women, we're undefeated. I feel like we consistently thrive for more, but in the sense of thriving for more, it's understanding what does more look like for you. So, am I satisfied now at the moment? No, because I know what my goals are, and even though I'm getting closer and I touch them, every time I accomplish a goal, I don't even think about the fact that I accomplished this goal because I already came up with another goal or I pushed that goal further. And having that like ambitious mindset just keeps me going so I don't feel like complacent at any point. But it also has taught me to take a step back and be content at the moment and appreciate where you are and what you've done and what changes have occurred. Even something so simple as like moving boroughs, and that was a big thing for me as well. And even in moving boroughs, accepting like, no, I'm happy here. Like, even though I didn't think I wanted to be here or ever would live here, I'm happy here. I feel welcomed here, and I'm able to do what I've been wanting to do in being here. So recognizing like, okay, things that I'm doing are adding to my bigger goal, but that goal is just going to consistently change. Well, it's going to consistently evolve and grow with me. Working through creative blocks and depression can sometimes go hand in hand and sometimes be complete polar opposites. Uh, with depression, for me, it's something I've battled for a while, as well as anxiety. And although I feel like the pandemic has helped my anxiety because I've been able to just sit with self for so long and be so reflective and tap in with the universe and ancestors, of course, I still have my episodes. And of course, in grieving such a heavy loss, like your depressive episodes will pop up out of nowhere. Anything can trigger it. The worst is being out in public and having those moments. There was a day this week where I just couldn't stop crying at work. Like every other hour, I was just having a breakdown and I couldn't control it and I couldn't catch it. I couldn't stop it. And I would just sit there and break down. And it was only because like just thoughts of my mom and going back to that moment of like burying my mom were just so present and I didn't know where it was coming from. And a lot of times I used to just distract myself and work through to just keep going, like distract your mind, distract your mind. And that was burning me out. That was causing my anxiety. So I would just sit there and be like, well, I just have to feel right now. So I'm gonna cry. And I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna cry. Or I'm gonna reach out to somebody because I don't wanna cry anymore. And this heavy feeling can take me down into a place where I don't wanna go. So let me go to someone who can give me something uplifting and not in like a cheesy uplifting way. Like give me a safe space to like feel my feels, hear my feels, and remind me that you're there, or give me some words that sound like my mom might say, or feel like my mom is like talking through you and you're the vessel. However, sometimes with depression and creative blocks and being so ambitious, your to-do list is never done. You'll never ever complete a to-do list. And accepting you'll never ever complete a to-do list, but you can have moments to just breathe and be and not feel guilty. Like I would feel guilty being at home and watching 3 episodes on Netflix and be like, I could have done half of my to-do list if I didn't just smoke this weed and decide I wanted to watch Snowfall right now. And then it was like, but no, bitch, you haven't slept in like 10 days. Smoke your weed and watch your Snowfall. It is absolutely okay. And if you need that break sometimes, you need that disconnect, because if you keep pushing your mind, you keep pushing your body, that's when burnout comes out. Your quality of your work is going to like show in a negative way. And you just need to reset, refresh, reflect, and then move forward. I feel like creative blocks are good things because it's something else needs to be sparked in you. Something wasn't connecting, something wasn't clicking, something is missing, and you're not gonna figure out what it is if you constantly keep going. You just need to take that moment and sit with yourself and let yourself like just breathe, relax, release. And then you could be doing something so silly as like picking up an avocado in the store and be like, I got the perfect idea. I know who I need to call. Boom, 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 boom. And those moments can come at any time. And I love when they spark at any time. And that's why I love having the community I have around me, because you just get so much like inspiration just talking to your friends. Like you could just have a normal conversation and be like, that's $1 million idea. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try to make that idea happen. And now I get to say that like I created this because of just having a simple conversation without pushing myself and just relaxing with trusted people. I've, I've been given a lot of advice in my life. I feel like there's a lot of pieces of advice that I've kind of boiled together. And what it all kind of came down to is like your truth and your story is yours. And no one else can change that or take that away from you. And in having that, it made me stand firm on my feelings, so to speak, in my situations. Like, nope, this, we use the word gaslight a lot. That's fun, right? No one can gaslight you for your experience, for your perception of a situation that occurred or the effect a situation, I should say, had on you. That's your truth, that's your story, that's your experience, and you deserve to be able to own it and speak on it, and you shouldn't be silenced for it. So I feel like the resilience I've also learned from that, like not letting life just make you give up, because life happens all the time and it doesn't stop lifing. But how are you going to respond to life? Are you going to let, because of how life panned out, just keep you where you are and not even attempt to make it better? Or are you going to try to find pockets of happiness? Are you going to find pockets of joy? Are you going to find pockets of growth? Are you going to find you in life and how you want to live the life that you have in the time that we have it? So I guess the best advice I was ever given in total was finding your voice and using your voice. The best advice I would give others is to live life unapologetically. So many people have regrets in life, and so many people aren't remembered for the ways that they would hope to be remembered in life, or impressions, or they don't even leave an impression because they're not even being themselves and they don't even know who they are. And once you learn who you are, it helps you from not being deterred or influenced by others who may not have a positive goal behind it. It can be the way that you get caught up in more situations and unfortunate situations and get called out and get exposed. So I would definitely say live life unapologetically. It's yours. Who, at this point, who cares what anybody thinks? Like, for what? For why? And if you care that much, I encourage you to go to therapy. So maybe that's my second piece of advice. I think everybody should go to therapy. We all got a lot of shit to heal from. It's not even like our fault. We just came into this world like, ooh, we're Black, we got trauma. And heal. Live life unapologetically, heal, go to therapy, and don't be an asshole. You can follow me on all the Insta-webs. On Instagram at RetroBarbie92. Please don't slide in my DM on no creep shit. I will expose you. I'm very good at that. You can also follow the brand at Black Men Cry 2. That's 2 O's, T-O-O, very important. You can find Black Men Cry 2 on Apple Pod, Spotify, as well as YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for season 4. Oh my God, season 4. Stay tuned for season 4. And be sure that you connect with me on Instagram as well, as I do many community events, content, curation, and I definitely highlight and post a lot of Black brands, Black creatives. I'm here to uplift the Black community, as well as always, hashtag protecting Black women.